Great. So how are you guys doing today? So why don't we just get right into it? And Mark, what is a chosen one? And how can chosen ones interact with regular individuals, since we are more aware, higher self, and aware of how the matrix and reality works? Okay, that's a good question. So let's break them down. All right. So what is awareness first? The higher self is that awareness part of you, and the lower self is the thoughts you're listening to. It's tied into your ego. So you are not a part of the mind. The mind just is around you. You are the observer of the mind. Once you get that, you become into your higher self. Now the thing about the higher self works this way. This is how all this stuff works. So imagine there's this big ocean, and then we take little drops, and then we put it in a little cup. And the cup, say the cup is you, it's Mark, Janet, Felix, John. It's big ocean. So we take a little drop, put it in each cup. That becomes your individualized, what we call self in this 3D reality. But everything comes from that big ocean. So if you go back into the big ocean, you're part of that big ocean. That's how consciousness and awareness works. That's how your higher self works. It breaks off from the ocean into a little drop, and then takes that drop and becomes you to experience what we see as a 3D reality, or what we call 3D world. Now, the thing about the higher self as a consciousness, it sees everything, because remember, there is no beginning, there's no end, so everything is already played out. This is why it can help you to navigate your life. Now, what is a chosen one? A chosen one are the individuals who receive and understand this. They understand that they are no longer the part of their mind. That is what you call awakened. When you become awakened is when you sit to yourself and say, oh my goodness, I'm not the mind. Wow, that voice in my head, it's not me. I could hear it. But we've always been conditioned to believe we are the mind, because no one taught us that. It's just like an evolutionary thing in our subconscious, and our mind just grasps that. And the reason why we're so attached to the mind is because the mind hijacks our own voice. So when it has your voice, you automatically, that's me. But it cannot be you, because you cannot be something you can listen to. You are aware of that thing. You cannot be the thing you are observing. You cannot be the thing you are aware of. You have to be above that thing. And that comes into the higher plane. Now, when you get to that level, this is where the reality, or what we call matrix, opens up more. And this is what this individual is asking me: how do you navigate around people? So when you are a chosen one, conversation and the way you're going to interact with regular individuals will be difficult at first, because you're going to be so high in knowledge and understanding. All right. Now, how do you do this? You have to become humble, and you have to have empathy. You have to understand that people around you aren't there yet. So you have to bring yourself down to their level, and then put yourself back up. That's how the universe works. The universe works on frequency waveforms. You go up and you come down. You go up, you come down. So whenever you are awakened, you are the higher self. You are the awareness of the universe. You see how that works? The scientist sees these neurons, and what they do, they form these bands, or these little gaps, or little mountains. And then when they process information, they form these different dimensions, and then they disappear. Just to process information up to 11 dimensions. So we are capable of tapping in. This is why you see some individuals that have such high intuition. They have high ability. They have people who could psychic and see stuff. Just because they're tapping into that. But the first thing you have to understand to get to this level is to understand that what awareness is. Awareness is you, the entire universe. This is where your third eye, or we call the pineal gland, starts to open more organically. Because what happens now, you start to process more power. And check this out. Your brain has the ability to tip up to higher levels of higher awareness, higher dimensions. And this was recently discovered. Let me show you something. Up in the brain, there are discovered up to 11 dimensions of processing information. How does it work? Because here's what the mind does. The mind will always come to you with two things. How are we going to get it? When are we going to get it? That's not your process. That's not for you to figure out. So when you escape the mind and know that I don't care about how or when, I just expect to get it, I know it's coming through faith, that's called detachment. That's when the universe opens up And that's when you'll start to manifest a lot faster, because now you free a lot of this junk resistance. You're able to get in more abundance information that's going to help you on your journey to manifest whatever you want. Now you got it. Now you can use it.